Okay, guys, we're ready to get rolling here. This is Jeff Gamble out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and I want to give everybody a kind of a quick overview of what we do here at My Leadership Network. And here's why. We want to educate everyone we possibly can about what we're doing. So if you happen to run into the right person, if you run into somebody who needs this, you have the ability to refer them to it. I find that there's a lot of people out there struggling, trying to figure this out. Frustrated, mad, angry. I was one of those people for a long, long time. And then somebody actually sat down and kind of broke it all down for me. And I realized most people in the industry of network marketing, direct sales, whether you're recruiting for real estate, insurance, financial services, your own business, people get frustrated, and there are multiple skills to learn, and very rarely will you ever get taught all of them by one person. Here's kind of how this started. I was trying to figure out where I could go that I could, in a weekend or a week, I could learn about recruiting, I could learn about team building, I could learn about building events, and I could learn about growth and achievement. I asked all of my friends who made between $100,000 a year up to $1 million a month. Every single one of them said the same thing. Well, if you come join me, I will teach you how to do this. And I'm like, that's great. Over the next 10, 20 years, I want to know where I can go learn it in a week. And I searched and searched and asked all my friends. And, basically I got the same answer every time that I just gave you. Um, Dave, go ahead and mute yourself out if you can. And here's basically the result of it. The result was it didn't exist. I mean, flabbergasted would be the best word to put it, but I was flabbergasted and I was angry. I was like, I can't believe this doesn't exist. And I finally ran into one person who's like, I know where you can go, where you can learn about recruiting and team building and getting chewed out in the whole 9 yards. And that was the military. I have a friend who's a military recruiter, who's a recruiter for the Army. And he goes, the Army actually does have a 6-week program where they teach you everything. I was like, interesting. I do not want to join the military. So that led me to build this program. So let me go over exactly what it is we do and how we do it and how it can help you, maybe if you're in direct sales network marketing or recruiting, or if you're know somebody who's in that situation. So our mission here is basically to educate, equip, and empower entrepreneurs. That's the goal, is to help people. Our vision is to create financially independent servant leaders. Because once you're financially independent and you don't have to depend on anybody else, you have the ability to go help people and not feel the pressure from a corporate entity or anybody else. And then our purpose is simply to help people grow and achieve. If you grow this much, if you grow, to the maximum potential, great. There's 6 areas we're going to evaluate real quick. The industry. I've found that 99.9% of people who are in direct sales, who are in network marketing, who are in MLM, who are in affiliate marketing, do not know the history of it at all. They don't know anything about the industry at all. I've asked people details about their own company that they can't answer. We're going to go over the need for this and why it's a growing need, the company itself, what products we offer. We're going to hit a little bit on how we can compensate people because that's important, and then the timing. So the industry of direct sales, this is really kind of eye-opening. There's about 125 million independent direct sales people worldwide. 125 million people are part-time, spare time, trying to make money from home. About 7.5 million, or just a little over 7.5 million, are in direct sales just in the United States alone. This information comes from the DSA.org. Yes, I need to update it, but this was the last numbers that they were giving, when I put this together. So the industry of direct sales, another interesting fact that people don't know, is 1/3 of representatives join. And the reason they join, these are people who sign up in companies. The main reason, it's like 33% of them, they join just for the discount. They're not here to make money. They're not here to recruit. They're not here to build a team. They're not here to do any of that stuff. They just simply want a discount. They want to buy at wholesale, which you should write this down if your company offers something like this, because this is the number one reason why people would sign up on your team. Second reason people signed up, and this was a study again done by the DSA, is about 1/3 of reps, it was like 31%, joined for a plan B. A plan B, what does that mean? They have no intention of ever signing anybody up. They just want kind of a backup plan. This is the fire extinguisher. This is the financial fire extinguisher. James, can you text that to me? Because that's so funny. I won't remember it later, even though we're taping this. And then the last third, that's a little under 29%, joined to actually earn money. So here's what the numbers made sense to me. If there's that many people involved, that means there's 2.5 million people in the United States who need help recruiting, who need help team building, who need help running events, and there's about 41 million people worldwide. That's a pretty big market. That's a pretty big specific market. So what we're talking about here is something called B2B sales versus B2C. B2C sales means you're going out and looking for customers. You're going out and looking for civilians. These are not people who know the game. These are not people who necessarily know what it is we do and how we do it inside of our industry. That's B2C. That's what most people in direct sales network marketing are in. This is more of a B2B plan. We're not talking to the civilian. We're talking to the soldier. We're talking to somebody who's already signed up, maybe already gone through a boot camp, and they're looking for answers. So here's what I realized very quickly, being in direct sales and network marketing, I've personally recruited frontline over 500 people. Now, some people might clap for that, but what I can tell you is that's not that good. Compared to some of the friends that I have that have recruited 2,000 people, and I've actually have a friend that's recruited 10,000 people frontline. 10,000 people frontline. And he did it from his computer at home. Now, it took him years to learn how to do that. But here's what I found when I was out recruiting. I got asked the following questions. Have you ever asked yourself or anyone else the following questions? How do I recruit? I'm talking to people, but nobody's signing up. You ever feel like that? Who should I talk to? I think I'm talking to the wrong people. You ever feel like that? I'm talking to the wrong people. I mean, I'm talking to a lot of people, but it seems like I'm talking to the wrong people. What should I say? Have you ever thought that? You see somebody and you're like, ooh, that person looks really sharp. But what do I say? How do I approach them? And then you have this whole conversation in your mind. And then by the time you're done having the conversation, you end up not approaching them. I've done that many times. Don't feel bad. Where should I get leads? I get asked this pretty much every day. I have somebody from some company reach out to me and said, hey, where do I get leads? Who do I talk to? And then you get into this. What video should I send? What information should I be giving these people? You know, they say just send a link, but I've sent a link 3,000 times and I'm not getting anywhere. No one is opening the link. Well, there's a reason for that. That actually does not work. It used to work when it first came out, when links first came out and videos first came out online, that worked. Now we've bombarded so many people with links and videos, nobody watches anything, right? I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, people are like, I would rather watch my TV show. I would rather watch YouTube. I'd rather watch something else online that I can't talk about on video. And I think you guys can figure that. Adult content, let's put it that way. I'm just going to be absolutely transparent here, so pull no punches. Then you get this. I can't get anyone to watch the video. I'm sending this out, but nobody's opening it. What about this? I can't get anyone to show up or sign up. Like they watch the video, they say they're interested, but they won't get on the webinar. They won't get on the Zoom. Why isn't this working for me? It seems like it's working for other people because don't they always parade across in the testimonial the guy that was homeless or the girl that was homeless and didn't have a car and didn't have a meal and didn't have teeth and doesn't know the language and all of a sudden now they're $100,000 ringer, right? I mean that's what they do. You know, it doesn't matter the company. It's like that across the board. My people won't do anything. Let's say you're lucky enough to sign a couple people up. Now you can't get them to do anything. Why won't they do anything? They won't even show up. They won't even get the information. You ever hear this one? My upline won't help me, or you feel this way? Hey, I can't even get these people on the phone. They won't respond to me. Or what about this one? My upline quit. They're no longer in. The person who told me that this is a really, really good idea left. You know, that's humbling and that's painful in a lot of ways. So when I kind of packaged all this, I'm like, you know what? There is a real need for training. There's a real need for education here. So this is a little bit about the company. Based here in Indianapolis, I started it, and I launched it as an affiliate program in 2002. Basically, I knew it had the potential to go into all these different countries, and now I've had people reach out to me from literally across the globe. You know who I was talking to last night about 4 in the morning? Somebody from Australia. They're like, I need your program. People who are Kiwis need your program. I didn't even know what that meant. That meant people from not only Australia, but also New Zealand. New Zealand or Kiwis. Okay. So I didn't know that. The products themselves, here's kind of the basis for the whole system. If you have no leads, right, no matter what you're selling, I don't care if you're selling real estate, insurance, financial services, lotions, potions, you're selling technology, whatever you're selling, if you have no leads, you have no sales. Now, worse than that, we must have leads. And in fact, it's helpful to kind of think of yourself as you're in the lead generation business. You're not in a lotion business. You're not in a hair care business. You're not in a technology business. You're not in a service business. You're in a lead generation business. And if you can't generate leads, enough of them, I don't care what you're selling, you're not going to do well. Now, Gary Keller went on to say, try staying in business very long without leads. Now, obviously, the business of this comes from Gary Keller of Keller Williams, but does it translates across the board to every business and every industry that involves sales and recruiting. So that's when, it made sense to come up with this product, Unlimited Leads, right? Every client receives 4 videos that go over the 4 different types of leads. What are the 4 different types of leads? Some people don't even know this. Warm market, those are people you know. Cold market, people you don't know. Opportunity leads, those are leads that you can purchase of people who are actually looking to work from home part-time. Wouldn't that be good just to target them? And then there's the whole attraction marketing, online marketing thing. Now, again, I've recruited all these different people. Every client's going to receive our text message marketing system and receive access to our Facebook page. Now, this product by itself sells for $200, and I've had people buy it. Next is the PDFs and Google Forms. Over the years, I've said stuff like, here's the 20 steps to launch a traditional business. A lot of people want to launch a traditional business, whether it's a real estate business or whether it's an insurance business or a financial services business, and not that network marketing or direct sales isn't a real business, right? But in general, most people never realize how to turn it into a real business. Most of the time, you are a licensed affiliate of their program, right? You have the rights to sell their stuff, but you actually don't own anything, okay? If you read the fine print, I've read the contracts of about 80, maybe 90 network marketing companies, and not one of them say you own anything. Now, 99.9% of all the people that have ever been in network marketing have never read their contract at all, nor would they understand it if they did read it, right? Because I mean, it's like 25 pages, it's legalese. I had to look up definitions myself. So the very first thing I did is I was like, well, I kept telling people, here's the steps, here's the steps, here's the steps. Somebody's like, if you wrote that down, you could actually send it out. I was like, that's a good idea. So I wrote how to launch your business and a PDF that I can send out. And I've sent it out to people who launch all kinds of businesses. Next, the social media blueprint. Here's one. How do I attract people into my business? How do I attract people? I've spent upwards of $100,000 in training. Upwards of $100,000 from people like Grant Cardone, from people like Gary Vaynerchuk, from people like Ed Mylett, from people like Tony Robbins. I can go on for a while, but I think you guys get the point. I mean, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in this training, one of which I worked with a guy who makes about $1 million a month. Well, actually, it's over $1 million a month now. And he personally put 100,000 people in direct sales using nothing but social media in his last 5 years. He was number 2 in his company before he basically resigned. So that way he could just teach how to do that. He had a blueprint. Now, he's never given out all the information in one setting. What he did is he started about 7 years ago and put out a video a day. And if you sit there and watch video after video after video after video, you can compile exactly how he does what he does. But it's going to take you about 150 to 200 hours worth of information. And then you're going to have to write it all down. And you're going to have to be smart enough to connect the dots. So you don't have to buy my program. You can go spend the 200 hours yourself and try to, figure it out. Next, the text message marketing system. This changed everything. Rather than picking up the phone and calling people and saying, hey, do you have a minute? I'm going to share something with you. Or can we get together for coffee? I want to share something with you. Or can you jump on this Zoom? I want to share something with you. What if you could just text message people? You don't have to talk to them at all. At all. I shared with a friend of mine, I said I was texting about 75 people a day. Somewhere between 25 to 30 of them were reaching back out within a few hours and saying, hey, can you send me the information? I would then send them the entire presentation in written form with a call to action at the end that says, look, if you want more info, text me back, send me the video. About a third of them out of 30, I would get 10 people who said, send me the video. Out of the people who watched the video, when I send the video, I said, look, here's the link for the video. You need to watch this before we get on the phone. Once you're finished watching the video, this is in text message, by the way. Once you're finished watching the video, text me back how to get started. Out of 10 people, a minimum of 3, a maximum of 5. I've never broken 50%. But imagine having 2 to 5 people a day writing you back. How do I get started? I said I'm looking. I then read a presentation. I asked you for a video. I watched a video. And now I want to get on the phone with you and you tell me how to get started. How many people think that would make the business you're in, whatever business, a million times easier? Right? That's what this program, that's just the text message marketing system by itself, right? That product by itself could take you to 6 figures. The next is a Google form, and it's a form about form. Form is a series of questions you need to ask. People are like, how are you so good? And I'm good now. I was not good before. I want to point that out. And I'm not great at it. I would say I'm better than average at meeting people, asking questions, and getting to know them pretty quickly, right? Just like Joey here is in California with her dog. She's only had her dog a month, etc. She's in business with Donald. She's obviously looked at a lot of opportunities lately. That's what I got out of the first 15 seconds of talking to her. And it's Joey Marie, so that way people don't think that it's Joey Male. So form, friendly, occupation, recreation, and the message. That's what it stands for. It's a series of questions that you ask to build immediate rapport. And that's how I was able to meet somebody from cold market that I did not know and sign them up the same day I met them. You do not need to spend 30 days building a relationship. Everybody's like, oh, the business is about relationships. Horse shit. It is not about building relationships in the beginning. It's about building rapport in the beginning. Now, if you want them to stay in long term, that's where you build a relationship. The relationship is the second part. You got to build rapport first to get them in. Next, pre-qualification. What questions should you be asking every person to pre-qualify them to make sure you're not wasting time? If you had those half a dozen questions and you realize right off the bat, this is not the right person, how much heartache would that save you and them? Next, we have the game plan questions, how to launch your business. Then I have an expense form because if you truly are getting into business, you need to keep track of your expenses because that's where, guys, you could get back. I mean, if you have a W-2 job and you're running something home-based, there are all kinds of tax advantages. I am not an accountant. I am not a CPA. I'm not a lawyer. I do not play one on TV or plan on being one. I'm just saying what I've learned. So I put a simple expense form together so that way you can keep track of all that digitally. You just enter stuff in and it automatically populates and creates a spreadsheet. Last, a daily method of operation checklist. What should you be doing every day? And what if you had a form where you were just able to go to that form, fill it out, and now when you go to coach people, you could have them also fill out the form on your team and you know who's doing what. You know who to follow up with. You know who to push if they want pushed. They're like, I'll do whatever it takes. And then you're like, well, what'd you do last week? Well, I kind of, sort of, maybe this, that, and the other thing. Well, if you have this form, you know exactly. Just this stuff right here could take you to 6 figures. $300 is, what it is, or you can go all in and get it too. Next is the 12 key fundamentals. I run this every Sunday. I've ran it for about 10 years. The fundamentals are the things, it's kind of like the skill set you need to know to be able to get to six figures and beyond. Six figures and beyond. I've only made a little over $300,000 in network marketing part-time. Only. That's from the company's commissions. I've made an additional $250,000 running events. And just if you don't know this, there's more money in the events than there are actually building the business. But if you don't know how to recruit and you don't know how to team build and you don't know what to do in an event, you will never learn how to build events. So the first half is the basics, and the second half focuses on one of these 12 keys, and there's a Q&A at the end. This is a $100 a month product, or you can get it all in. The monthly marketing mastermind. The monthly marketing mastermind is kind of the basis. It's the basis for everything. It's actually $400 a month. That was a typo. That's what you get in commission if you sell it. It's a monthly live virtual recorded event. What we do is we focus on kind of one main marketing topic. This last time, what we focused on was basically the process of meeting people you don't know and the 4 lead types. I talked in depth about the 4 lead types and how to recruit the 4 lead types. How do you recruit warm market? What should you say? How do you recruit cold market? What should you say? How should you talk to leads differently than the first 2? And then what to do about social media. Certified recruiting coach. What if you could sit down in a weekend and learn everything you need to know? Now, could you retain it all? No, you probably can't retain it all. But what if you had like I give this to you, it's a PDF. It's like a 3-ring binder. You can print it out and put it in a 3-ring binder. That's what we did originally. That had everything from the history, statistics, philosophy, mindset, skill set, personality assessment, the process you need to take people through, how to prospect each one of those 4 leads, how to present to each one of those 4 leads, how to close each one of those 4 leads. What questions should you be asking at the end rather than what'd you think? By the way, what'd you think is absolutely the worst question you could ask because most people aren't thinking at all. Promoting and then profiting. This is a weekend event, about $500, or it's included. Certified team building coach. Well, quarterly, we're going to sit people down and go through everything you need to know about team building. Because once you bring, here's what most people don't realize. Everybody thinks before you recruit people that the hardest part is recruiting. And what I will tell you is that's 25% of the hardest part, which is both exciting and depressing, right? I mean, the good news is if you get here, you've made some money. The bad news is if you get here, you're probably more frustrated than you were when you had nobody. Again, what is the history of team building? What are the statistics? What is the philosophies? What is the skill set? What are the personalities that I'll be dealing with? How should I be tracking what I'm doing? Guys, do you know that there's a half a dozen things you should be doing to put people in the business? And then there's a half a dozen things you need to know how to do to get people off and running. And they're things you have to do on a consistent basis. And most people don't even know what they are. And no, they are not the same thing for recruiting because somebody's like, it's just repeat the whole way. No, it's not. Because if that worked, why aren't your people doing anything? That class is $1,000. Certified event building. The events, guys, this is scary. Did you know that the events and network marketing make you somewhere between 3 to 20 times more than what the product pays you? Let me repeat that. If you make $1 selling a product or getting a commission from somebody getting in, the events make $3 to $20 for every $1 you make off of your product. 3 to 20 times. So how important do you think events are? Probably one of the most important things about this, right? When, why, where, how, what, and how. What should you be doing? What should you be doing before? What should you be doing after? What should you be doing during? How to do testimonials? How all that fits together. This is a $1,500 course. Again, there's a PDF. You can go through page by page. You can read it forward. You can read it backwards, and you can watch the video as well. And last is the growth and achievement. I was fortunate. I was able to work with a number one earner in the history of this industry. I don't know anybody who's made more money or built a bigger team. He had over 3 million people on his team. Nobody even comes close to that. And his commissionable income, commission, not the 50 other businesses that he owned, but just his commissions exceeded $480 million. That's half a billion. Now he's been dead for over 10 years. So you couldn't go ask him if you wanted to. But interestingly enough, his family is still on the chart of the top 10 earners in the world. He earns somewhere between 7 to about $10 million a year still from network marketing. It just goes to his family now, his kids and his grandkids. I then got to work with a guy by the name of David Bird. Now, David Bird is one of the top coaches in the world. He ranks up there with like a Tony Robbins. He worked for a company called LMI Leadership Management Institute. He worked for that company for 31 years. He was president for 11 years. During the 11 years he was president, he brought in $750 million in coaching money. That's a lot. He was selling $100,000 coaching packages. That was just for the year. Like, guys, if you're charging somebody $8,333 a month, you have to produce results because if not, they will hire a crew to come find you and find a nice spot for you in Arizona somewhere. Um, or not Arizona, Las Vegas is what I was going to say. Sorry, I just thought of Rick in Arizona. So growth and achievement. What if you could become a growth and achievement coach? What if you learned what to do, how to do, and when to do, like how to grow, how to achieve in not just network marketing and direct sales, but every area of your life? What if you wanted to go into bodybuilding? What if you wanted to go into fitness? What if you wanted to go into, building a nonprofit? This translates across the board in every area of your life. How to expand and how to experience the most out of life. That's basically what he taught us. A PDF is actually included with all of this and the 10 areas of growth, the assessments, the system, the planning, and the calendar all come with it. It's 2 grand, or it's included in the all in. So here's the product line: unlimited leads, learning how to get leads from every source and what to do with them, all the PDFs, Google Forms, the 12 keys, the monthly marketing masterminds once a month. So that's kind of the connection. Certified recruiting coach, certified team building coach, event building coach, and then growth and achievement coach. And you say, well, why is there a certification here? Let me show you. There's actually 2 ways to earn money with this. Number one is you can just go through it and get educated, right? I mean, that's the first part. You don't know what to do, you go through the whole program and get educated and know what to do. Now, I've built 2 teams, one to about 8,000 people. And then the next time I did it, we're about 18,000. That one had a bunch of ring earners who made even more money than I did. I had a $460,000 earner on my team. I had a $200,000 earner on my team in the United States. And then we had an additional dozen people who made over 6 figures in Korea, Vietnam. I don't remember all the different, those 7 countries. So you can become an affiliate and actually market this, or you can become a coach. Let me show you how that works. The affiliate program details works like this. There's an 80% commission payout on all these products. And I know what you're saying. You're like, but I'm already in a company. Correct. So you're out marketing your company. Do you not think you're going to run into another network marketer? Yes. Are you also going to run into realtors? Yes. Are you going to run into insurance people? Yes. Are you going to run into other people who are needing to learn how to get leads and recruit and team build? Yes. So what if you had in your back pocket another program that is not your network marketing company that could connect them, could help them, could keep in touch with them? So down the road, if things don't work out with those people and they don't get trained, they might come over to you. Wouldn't that be a good idea? It was told to me like this: if you could make $100 in this hand and $1,000 in this hand, which hand should you take? And the answer should be both, right? I mean, that's how it works if you're in business. 80% commission on all products. It's peer-to-peer payment system. What does that mean? That means if Rick says, hey, I'm going to do this, and he goes out and talks to Dave, Dave would pay corporate a little bit, and 80% of the commission, Dave would pay Rick directly. It does not run through corporate. You're not getting a check from me. You're getting a check from the person who's signing up. What does that do? That means you're paid instantly. Instantaneous. Same day. ability to receive payouts daily. So this can go on 7 days a week, of course. So here's a list of all of the products. Here's what all in would cost you. But there's another way to make money. And the other way to make money is to become a certified coach or consultant. So if you went through the program and watch this, you have to learn the program, then you have to go do the program, then you can teach somebody else to do the program. Then all of a sudden you can become a coach. That's what a real coach is. A coach is not a person, and just if you don't know this, most people who are in life coaching and executive coaching and things, they've never done a single thing in their life other than go through a program. That's not necessarily the person you want to be learning from in most cases. I'm not necessarily looking for a coach as much as I am a mentor. A mentor is somebody who went and learned the program. They went and did what the program said and were successful at it. They turned around and taught other people how to do it. And now they're mentoring and coaching. That's what this program's about. There's one more level. What if you became a trainer? Like if you go through the program and you're able to use it yourself and become successful, and you're able to teach it to other people that they're successful, and you're able to charge money from outside groups, then guess what? I would love to pay you to train in our program too. The timing. Who needs to learn how to recruit and team build? Well, network marketers, people in direct sales, realtors, insurance people, financial service, anybody growing a business. Guys, I've sat down with the owner of a flower shop. Did I think when I built this program that I would actually be talking to somebody who owns a flower shop? No, I've talked to people who own a martial arts studio. Why in the world would you talk to somebody about a martial arts studio? Rick, you could probably talk for a good 2 hours on that, right? I mean, it's difficult to get people and keep people and train them what to do and all that stuff. And here's the thing, you might know how to block, kick, punch, do katas and all that, but teaching somebody else to teach somebody else how to show up on time, how to fill out paperwork, how to sign people, I mean, it's crazy, right? So here's what I want you to do. Ask yourself these three questions. So far of what you've seen, what'd you like best? Just think about this. What'd you like best? Next, how many people have you run across in the last lifetime, right? Who probably needed this program? I'm guessing a lot. Because if you've been around direct sales and network marketing more than 5 minutes, you've heard somebody complaining about something that I've talked about. How is this different than any program you've ever seen? Is another question. Because when I've shared this with a couple people who make serious money, they're like, you really have a hold of something here. So the all-in founders position is basically rather than buying the products individually one at a time, you just go all in and there's never a monthly. Because the 12 key fundamentals, if you're not personally part of my team, I'm giving that to people, you'd pay for. The monthly mastermind, you would pay for outside of, working directly with us. And all in, there's no monthly ever. And we have people who have been in this program several years. This program helped me earn just under $26,000 in the first 90 days. Why? Because I knew so many people who needed this. They were not part of my team. They were not part of the company I was in. They were in all these different industries outside. Now, this all in founders position, I do not offer this. This is something that PayPal offers. If you have a 700 credit score, you can go on and get 6-month financing. Now that's pretty cool because now instead of $1,000, you could pay $200 a month or whatever that breaks down to 6 months. Yeah. The all-in discount is $997 and there's no monthly ever, but it still comes with an 80% commission. So you make $800. So here's the deal. You find one person who also needs this. Now this program costs you $200. You market to one more person and you are now profitable with two people. That's pretty solid because I'm guessing you're going to know a couple people like that out there. So I'm not here to sign you up today. I wanted to give you an overview of what it is we do. If you know somebody who needs this, this is where to go. Join my leadership network. This is how to register for this. Our goal is to educate, equip, and empower entrepreneurs. That's why we're here. That's what I'm doing. I hope people become financially independent. That's kind of what we're trying to get people to learn how to do so they can work on their own without anybody else, ever involved needing help. I want you independent. I want you financially wealthy. And last, I just want to help you grow. You know, whatever the next level is, let's get you there. Whatever the next level is after that, and we'll just keep growing until we're no longer around. So that's an overview of what it is we do and how we do it. Get back with the person who brought you to this video, and they will help explain everything. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to shut this recording off because we have a couple people here who actually might want to talk and have questions, and that doesn't need to be on this recording. So thank you, everybody. Reach out to me if you need me.